We have our star blocks. We have our sunflower blocks. We have our finishing strips. It's time to glow and behold. I have my finishing instructions that are going to get us to this awesome table runner. And now it's time to get them put together. Based on the instructions, it just says that we need to add our brown dot sashing, or it's brown with white dot sashing, in between alternating blocks of sunflowers and star blocks. And looking at it, it looks like the easier way for me to do this in my mind is to put the sashing strips in between each of the, or on both sides of the sunflowers, and then put those onto the star blocks. So let's start sewing. I am going to go in here and on both sides of the sunflower blocks, I'm just going to add this sashing strip. You can pin this, you can clip this. I do a lot of, what is that phrase? Sow and pray, sow and hope. If I had put this on the underside, instead of sewing it this way, I would have every opportunity to line up the points below. But I'm just going to let it go with the way that it is and hope that they come out pretty good. And I'm going to do this one. In fact, I will do this one the way that I was just describing. I'm just going to flip everything upside down. The difference is you don't have the weight of the block on the feed dogs in this case. So you have to do a little bit more to keep things aligned and feeding through. But it's still not a big deal. So I'm going to line up this end, bring it taut. And the way that I do my sewing, I just line everything up on. I actually do not have my points to really line up with because of the way that I pressed these. So it's still kind of a sew and hope with these. If I had thought to press them the opposite direction, then I would be able to see where these points are. It's not that big a deal, in my opinion. It's just make sure that you can get it to whatever level of perfection you are looking for in your projects. So I'm just going to line this up. This is how I do my sashing, is I will just line things up, get it straight, and send it through the machine. And now that I've got them on one side, I'm going to flip and do the other. And I'm doing it this way because it is symmetrical and I don't have to worry about counting how many of which blocks I have on one side. And it also means that I have a little bit of a method as I am sewing the blocks together. I know that I am going to be sewing a unsashed block to a sashed block. Let me grab my leader off. And I'm sure a few of you have noticed that I sound a little nasally right now. It seems like life has caught up with me. I woke up yesterday. Well, it started. What is today? Today is Friday that I'm recording this to be released on Saturday. I woke up Tuesday feeling mostly fine. And then throughout the day, Tuesday, my nose started to go a little worse for wear. Just little bits of congestion and stuff. And then, when was it? Wednesday, my nose started imagining that it was a marathoner and was running like crazy. And I ended up working from home on Wednesday, which was my normal work from home day. And then I sent a message to my manager Thursday saying, I'm not coming into work because whatever I have, I don't want to infect other folks in the office. So I've been working from home, and my nose finally has calmed down a little bit, but it's still a little congested. So I said I wanted to get this video out, make sure that we all knew how to finish this project for anybody who is sewing with me. I know that Stephanie Stitches and Kathy's Cute Creations have done awesome tutorial videos. So this, what I normally do with my videos has been sew-alongs, except, you know, I was gone for most of the visits here, or I was unavailable to sew along with y'all directly with live. So I've done pre-records for each of the videos in this one. Today I'm unavailable on Saturday. I say today because I know this is going to be released on Saturday. Because my friend Steven of The Idiot Quilter is hosting a virtual retreat, and I am joining him for that. So that's why I'm unavailable to finish this with you guys live. So when you have the blocks sewn on each side, you want to give them a quick press out. I got to get the iron to heat up. So I'm going to press them outwards like this. Mostly because that's what the seams want to do. I'm looking at my seams and they look pretty good. There's a couple points here that could have been better. I don't care that much. A couple points here that could have been better. If anybody is checking my points that closely, they need a good smack in the face with a trowel. So I'm just going to do a quick press. And this is how they will come out. I've got 2 more to press. This has been an awesome sew along from Fort Worth Fabric Studio. So thank you, folks at Fort Worth Fabric Studio, for providing us another awesome patterning kit to work with. I don't think I would have been able to pick as awesome of colors on my own just based on a color chart. So I'm glad that I had the opportunity to get this kit. One more seam. So now that I have all these together, I want to put a star block basically on either side of the center, and then the sunflower block on either side of that. So I'm going to put a star block on this side. And like I said, this is just how my brain worked to identify this. If your brain works differently, please feel free to do it however your brain works. You could always start on the far left and just add pieces to the right of each unit to add more and more pieces together, if that's how it works better for you. I'll take this. And do the same thing to the other side. And it's with these blocks that you really want to have the more weight on the bottom for your feed dogs to help pull it through the machine. Because there's a difference when your machine is pulling it versus you having to push it. And you're able to, with the way that I press these, you're able to see if you are going to keep your points or not. And then now that I have this on, I'm going to add one of the sashed sunflowers to this side. And for these sections, you can do a backstitch. I usually only do a backstitch on the last seams of the quilt, so the outer seams, to make sure those don't come apart, because I'm just going to be working on all of the seams together at this point. So there's no point in me trying to secure any seam that's about to be secured in another block. And instead of pulling this one off the machine, I'm going to live dangerously and just add this to this portion of the quilt. This is very dangerous because you want to make sure everything stays as straight as possible. I feel like I have enough distance in the block to shift it over to get this straight. And that's just because we have so many inches of table runner to work with. And it's a very skinny table runner. And just like that, we have the starts of the table runner. So we have sunflower, star, sunflower, star, sunflower, and we have the sashing on both sides. So I'm going to do a quick jump cut right here and get this fully pressed, and we will come back with my top and bottom sashings already sashed.
A few minutes later.
Okay, I said I would have it sashed. I meant to say I'd have it clipped. So there's two different methods that you can do your borders in this case, and this includes your larger sashing. You can take the entire strip that they had you make and just start at one end and try to keep your tension even, and then get to the other end and trim it. As long as you can keep your tension fairly even, that works beautifully. I'm a little OCD, so I cut my sashing and border strips the length that they need to be, and I will go in there and I start by clipping the both ends, and I fold in half, clip the center, and then I keep folding in half and clipping so that I kind of ease everything together, if that makes any sense. That way the sashing and borders are one size, and it kind of helps square everything back up to the way it's supposed to be. So let's go in here and I will show you how I will do the sashing sewing, which, surprise, is not very exciting compared to doing the blocks. Except this time I'm actually using clips. Things that I don't normally use. So I will just sew through. As I get to my clip, I will pull it out and align with the next place. I try not to have my clips longer than about 12 inches apart, mostly because that's the size of the block. And I don't want to be trying to wrangle up more than the block width as I'm trying to sew this through. So again, I line everything up and press it through. This is definitely more of a hope and sew from me, or sew and hope. But that's just mostly because I didn't want to go in here and mark every intersection location. Sometimes you get a pesky little spot that you gotta push it through just a little bit. You can use your hump jumpers to get them through as well. But I'm just, keeping the tension fairly even, not stretching the fabric, not pushing the fabric, just letting it go. And that generally helps keep everything pretty square. And even reduces puckers. And that is one sashing done. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. And then I'm going to add the, not that one, this one. The shorter orange spotted, tangerine it is, strips to the sides. And then do the same thing for the outer border. And I will see you in a moment.
A few inches later.
And just like that, we have a table runner. This came out gorgeous. I love the fabrics, and I'm now trying to decide which backing I'm going to do, because this darker color is the binding, and I have a choice of these two fabrics. This one is not in the quilt, but I believe it's from the same curated line that Fort Worth Fabric Studio made. And this one is the spotted tangerine, which is the outer border of, excuse me, of the fabric or of the project. So I am debating between those two. Let me know in the comments below which one you would pick and why. And I will probably take that into account when I decide to start back quilting this. So again, I want to thank Fort Worth Fabric Studio for another awesome project. I want to thank everybody who has sewn along with me for taking time out of your busy days and joining me on this project and journey of this. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and an awesome week. Toodles!